All right, the craziest thing just happened to me. I'm scrolling through my Steam. I can't find anything I feel like recording. I go through my email and see a random subject line that says, "Enjoyed your channel." The only time I get emails and messages like this. People reach out all the time to let me know that this page has gave them happiness, joy, and entertainment. If you're new here, my name is Malik Childish. We enjoy immersing ourselves in other worlds here. And that is why this email stood out to me. From our guy, Edward. Hey, I like the Kenshi stuff you did. I think it's too short, but that's me. But since you got Kenshi, you have got to play SpaceBourne 2. Made by one guy, and it rivals Starfield in universe size. If you don't know me, you know I love a good indie game. Eventually, I'm going to do videos also, just have to get a better editor. Well, Edward, I have never had an editor for this page. For some TikToks here and there, I have gotten some help just because it is a lot of work to do the video and to do the short. But I have constantly learned how to edit myself. You can go back to the first video on this channel. It is not good. It's something that comes over time. And if that's something holding you back from starting a YouTube, that is not a good enough reason. Get started, Edward, and thank you for this email. I went ahead and downloaded it. It wasn't a huge download, and it wasn't even an expensive game. Loading into it, you can see it has the Unreal Engine there. So I'm like, a one-man dev, of course. It had all the computer settings that you would expect. And then it opened up the character creation, and this part kind of surprised me. Reflexes, willpower, this is all stuff a very deep RPG game has. Let's level it up a bit. It had classes, not just 1, 6. So this is definitely giving me that Starfield vibe I got when I first booted that up. You could customize your character's ears and mouth. I'm not gonna lie, there really wasn't that many features in this. I couldn't even figure out how to change his beard, so even with that being said, there was still a lot of customization features. Immediately, I'm like, oh, okay, it's a WASD style game. You can walk around in the city, and the city was actually really big.
It's about time you woke up. The burden of doing nothing all day must take a toll on you. Come see me at once. We need to talk.
I immediately went up to somebody just to see if I could talk to them, and it didn't work. There was no like talk feature or anything, but you could hear them like chatter. I'm looking up at the buildings. I'm actually admiring this first town and this creepy dude that popped up.
It's been 4 moons. When do you plan on paying my rent? Why don't you consider doing more routine work? Our connector always has many freelance jobs available. When was the last time you spoke to him? Be quiet and listen to me for once in your life. You know how much I love you and how much respect I have for your father. I can't good conscience allow you to continue wasting away your life like this. I've let things slide for far too long. It's about time that you started carrying your own weight around here, so I need you to do something for me. You will go and get a freelance job from Connector.
I gotta get some money. I gotta pay my rent.
As a matter of fact, I was looking for a pilot to take an old woman to the Veranda station. There is this one combat mission, but they specifically requested a minimum of SX for class ships. The old woman transporting mission. It is much more safer for both of us. It looks like Lara grabbed that mission while we were talking. I'm going to stick my neck out a little for old time's sake. But if anyone asks, just say you made a false statement about your ship's class. I don't want to lose. Don't make me regret this. Good luck.
I've been intrigued by the way the voices sound. If you can hear, they kind of sound like robotic. Once again, this game is beautiful. There was a lot to look at. There's things moving in the background. There's people flying by. There's other pilots that are just chilling. It was cool to actually see. And I don't know what the heck that thing is in the back. So I'm guessing this is my ship. And the HUD is something that stood out a lot to me on here. The HUD looked really, really good. Let's go. We're going on a mission. As a freelance pilot, we're flying to some moon to see what they need from us. I'm tired of being broke. I'm tired of living like I ain't have no worth in this world, man. So let's leave our planet and go make a name for ourselves. It had a nice little tutorial system in there, but it was a lot to read, but I was thankful it did have steps on how to complete things. I ain't know how to fly this ship. This is my first time in the ship, man. And how you move between each solar system and each planet was actually very smooth. It kind of reminded me of a No Man's Sky.
Are you here on scout mission? I specifically requested those with ships above SX4. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not sure you can complete this task with this floating junk. Don't rush. Let's make sure the ship is in good condition first, shall we? Nice. Now give me some rolls. Beautiful. Now let's try a target with shield. Activate your laser weapons. Not bad, but it is easy to hit stationary points. Well done.
I'm not bad. I'm actually a decent pilot. Tell me, what's the job?
The pilot who took the job. We have been seeing unusual activity in this asteroid field for a while. Unidentified scout ships patrolling the area. We want you to take care of them.
Good. Now move slowly and don't fire any weapon, or they can locate you.
All right, we get the job. Turn the ship invisible, I don't know, and sneak over to this base to retrieve an item for this guy who paid for a pilot. So I'm kind of confused here. Am I a soldier or am I a pilot? I don't know, but you feel me? I gotta get this money. I gotta pay my rent. So I use my little jetpack, go down here and get these guns that my guy told me was down here, because you know I ain't keep a strap with me. So you know I'm down here, pop, pop, pop. You feel me? I'm hitting everything, and I'm like, wait, the combat on this game is actually not bad at all. And it even has loot, so I'm grabbing everything I need. I grab the loot that's needed for the mission and blow this guy's head into smithereens. And yeah, there's dismemberment on this game, and I was actually lit after that. Walk outside, knocking down a few more soldiers. I'm getting to it. And once again, I'm actually good at this. I'm not scared of nothing anymore. I gotta pay this rent.
Ship now. Don't stand still.
I'm gonna destroy a few more ships.
See any activity around? You did a great job. Come to AXA. Your rewards are waiting for you.
So I go back to talk to the guy who gave us the mission in the first place, and he has like a little crib out here, which is actually fire. I'm wondering if I can get one of these myself. But he explains to me that they have a similar type of item in this place that's pretty dangerous.
Great job out there. Now any criminal will have to think twice before attempting to steal from us. I'm going to transfer the money to your account. This old thing. It's an old piece of junk I found in the remnants of an old battlefield. Come to think of it, it was right in this system on the moon 189-1. It turned out to be useless, though. I couldn't detect any signs of activity in it. Why do you ask?
So you know me. I'm like, hey, I gotta pay my rent.
If you want to risk going there, be my guest. I'd added the location to your scanner.
So I was not scared going in here, destroying ship after ship. I think I destroyed at least like 10 ships right here, while my guy in the alien thing is just flying around like it's nothing in his little pod. But that's besides the point. I'm still getting to it, knocking things off. He's like, hey, I think it's another piece over here in his little ship. And it turns up. Ships start flying from everywhere. There's freighters, there's other big ships. I'm like, what is happening? He did warn us. But still, I'm like, yo, when we gonna get up out of here? And he finally gave us the word, like, all right, let's go. Let's get out of here. I bet we out this mud. So these are like the things you use to go to another galaxy. It's like your way of galaxy hopping. It's like a space taxi, I guess to say. You fly in it and it takes you to the place that you want to go. It's actually kind of cool. But I noticed immediately it showed there's a ruler for each galaxy. So now I'm like, is there a potential where I could run my own galaxy? I don't know. But we finally make it to the first space station. And I'm assuming most of the space stations are like this, but this is where you can get your components, you can get things for your ship, and I was actually immediately surprised at how much there was to choose from immediately. This is the first hour we've been playing this game and I'm already seeing stuff I could probably use another tutorial for. Missiles and bank accounts and a lot of things I just don't know. Once again, there's NPCs everywhere. I kind of was upset I couldn't talk to nobody, and hey, how you doing, shorty? But yeah, it was weird you couldn't really talk to nobody. But then we finally got our next mission.
Let me see the pieces.
The launch ship for the Terra system will leave today at 40.
Now that's a beautiful thing. It's been decades since I've seen a similar model. It must be more than 50 years old. Okay, if I should be repairing this guy, it will cost you something for sure.
There's always a catch, man.
You need to understand that it's pretty hard to get the right spare parts, but I've got a proposal for you. Instead of paying me, you could do a small job for me while I'm putting your robot back together.
I'll do it.
I have not been able to reach a friend for a while who has been living on planet Sunvars. I'm adding the location of the place where he lived to his scanner. Please let me know as soon as you reach him.
Fix my robot while I'm gone. I'll be back in a little bit.
Waiting for the thruster input.
Don't you miss flying into a planet? Freaking Starfield. Planet seemed a little sketchy and seemed a little off, but seemed like a place there would be some sort of weird lab out here. We finally walk in and this place is pretty vacant. Some sort of alien components that our guy Simon recognized. This place was under attack, so we had to do what we had to do and defend it.
You need better equipment. I know where Coron hides his stash. Let me show you.
He did give me some tips on where some guns was at, so you know we had to grab that. Rifles and pistols and snipers, and we got new armor, so we really up now. Ooh-hoo-hoo. Boom! Oh my god! The snipers are legit on here. Boom! Boom!
Him down to the research center and kill him. I'm not asking too much. If you go to the
Maybe I'm actually good at this stuff. Maybe I can actually do something. Maybe I will be able to pay my rent. So we head down into this lab that our guy Simon is still looking for. I'm assuming his friend is dead at this point. And yep, he's dead. He looks pretty dead. Yeah. What the heck was he working on down there, though?
I told him
this
not
whole
to mess
place
with
just
Corin.
gives me bad vibes.
Wait a second. Do you see any AT documentation around? It should be in a small mechanical box. It must not fall into Quinn's hands. Fortunately, we had a tracking device attached to the AT document. Just wait a sec. I know I'm asking a lot from you, but Corin stole the AT document and is about to leave the atmosphere. You must catch him immediately.
Alright, we out. Let's get it. Feel me? I'm like, okay, is this a space fight? Oh, I gotta jump on the ship to find the documents? Alright. I'm just gonna run up to the container because you really didn't have to get in the containers. You could just walk by the containers and search it. So I was just doing that to cheat because I was getting shot at this entire freaking time. So I fly back and he's like, nah, go back. There's some explosives I need you to set. I felt like a freaking superhero at this point. I felt like I was on a movie. But hey, it didn't matter. Hit the little tube. We out. Hop back in my ship.
Get out of there and get on your ship! Now!
And that thing explodes right in front of me. Once again, that felt like I was in the middle of a sci-fi movie.
I can't believe what you just did there. You were great. As promised, I repaired your robot.
This exoskeleton. It is different. I was an old colleague of your father's. I had promised him I would watch over you and thought I had failed him. But here you stand before me. It's understandable you don't remember me. After all, you were just a baby when we parted ways.
So a random AI robot we found in space used to work for my dad?
Now the responsibility falls onto you to continue what your father started. That is to unite and liberate the entire human race.
The entire human race? What?
Your father was no terrorist. He was a great resistance leader.
Robot, I just found out I couldn't pay my rent.
Your father's former second-in-command, Anchor. He is in prison. In return, I will give your father's armor. It is priceless. I am a man of many... Correction. A woman of many plans now, I suppose. A world organization leader has devised a prison raid plan. We will need to join this raid and extract Anchor before the prison is destroyed. We have plenty of time should you need it. I would recommend to use this free time wisely.
I pick up a random job, to make a little extra money. I find a robot piece, I give it back to the guy who needs it. He tells me there's more of them out there, and all the pieces are robots, that I can keep them in exchange for not having to get paid. That robot ends up knowing my dad, who then says I have to continue his mission and save his second in command. His second in command is in prison. So that's what I did. I used the free time to upgrade my guy, upgrade his guns, his armor, upgrade the ship. I explored, tried out some guns, accidentally shot my robot. It was insane how much stuff was actually in this game. And once again, the ship, you could really customize components.
The new ones.
I grabbed a mission from some two guys talking in the hallway. It ended up being an assassination, where I flew to the top of this building with my jetpacks and just flew away. So, thanks, Edward. This was fun. And this was SpaceBourne 2.